Welcome to Shared Passing Thoughts. Today we are going to be making a tier list on the different ink types for Lorcana's first chapter. First up is Amber. Amber's main focus is getting cards added to your hand. The best way that Amber achieves this goal is with conditional card draw, such as Rapunzel, Stitch Rockstar, and Stitch Carefree Surfer. Another way Amber adds cards to your hand is by recursion, and some examples are Part of Your World and Hades' Lord of the Underworld. I'm giving Amber an A tier ranking for being an ink type that provides great character recursion and conditional card draw, which could net you a lot of cards. Amber does lack direct removal options, so it would pair nicely with other ink types, which would provide such removal. Next up is Amethyst. Amethyst is the best ink type for consistent card draw, such as Maleficent Sorceress, Friends on the Other Side, Ursula, and the Queen. It also has some conditional recursion with Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer, combined with Magic Broom. There's also control with Elsa Spirit of Winter. Amethyst is best for the reliable card draw, but it is lacking in removal options, and it has some potential in control and recursion. Overall, I would give Amethyst an S tier ranking, and that's for its easy difficulty in strategizing with it, and Amethyst has the best reliable card draw in the game, so it pairs exceptionally well with other ink types that have removal options, since it is lacking in that department. Now we will be moving on to Emerald. Emerald has indirect removal, such as Cruella de Vil, Cheshire Cat, Mother Knows Best, Cusco, and Genie on the Job. It also has indirect discard with Flynn Rider, and indirect draw with Mad Hatter. There's also some control with cards such as John Silver. Emerald has a lot of indirect removal, so it's obviously lacking in the direct removal. It also is lacking in ways to draw cards directly instead of indirectly. I would give Emerald overall a B on the tier ranking due to it having an expert level in difficulty due to the indirect nature of character abilities and in managing the bounce for removal options. Emerald shines with several indirect character abilities for controlling the game. However, the indirect nature of it is a little awkward if your opponent is winning the lore race. I would pair Emerald with another ink type that provides card draw for support, since its card draw is indirect and could be inconsistent, so the other types that we have already mentioned, such as Amethyst and Amber, would pair nicely with it. Now we'll be moving on to Ruby. Ruby is known for its removal options such as Dragonfire, Be Prepared, Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, and Maui Hero to All. It's also known for its high strength characters, which Maui is also a part of, and you also have Gaston. There are some other avenues for Ruby to take, such as evasion and readying your characters through abilities and effects. But Ruby is really just known for its really great removal options and for its good strength. Its issue is that it has no way of drawing cards, however, so this would be a good ink type to pair up with the other ink types that do draw good cards, such as the ones we've mentioned, Amethyst and Amber. Overall, I would give Ruby a B tier ranking, and I'm probably going to put it just below Emerald. It has an intermediate level of difficulty due to the timing of some of its cards, such as Be Prepared. Ruby is powerful with its card removal options and high strength character stats, and Ruby is good in the late game, and I would suggest, again, pairing it with those ink types that have card draw. The next ink type we'll be looking at is Sapphire, which is probably my favorite ink type. Sapphire provides ink ramp with Grandma Tala, Mickey Mouse Detective, and it has really good removal options in Let It Go and Hades' Infernal Schemer. There are some draw cards with the conditional draw Robin Hood and with the action draw Develop Your Brain. Sapphire does have some removal that ramps your opponent's inkwell, although the removal options can bypass some recursions that your opponent could be trying to implement. The ink ramp is nice in the early to mid game, but it does start to lose some of its impact in the late game. Sapphire does have some card draw, but it can definitely benefit from being paired with other ink types that provide more consistent or direct card draw that don't have that conditional part to them. Overall, I would give Sapphire an A tier ranking, and I think I'm going to put it in front of Amber. Overall, Sapphire is really good since it can do some removal, it can do some draw, and it is also ramping. It has an intermediate level of difficulty with using some cards such as Develop Your Brain and Robin Hood due to their conditional nature or when to actually use them in their timing. That leaves us with the last ink type of Steel. Steel does have some challenger abilities that will help out when doing challenging, such as Captain Hook Forceful Duelist and Prince Eric. It does have some alternative options to use if you'd rather go down the avenue of Bodyguard, or if you'd want to do some damaging abilities and effects, and it also has some interesting draw options. Personally though, I am not a big fan of Steel, although I think its item removal cards may be very worthwhile in the future sets, but with Disney Lorcana's first chapter, I am going to be putting Steel in the C tier. It does have some card draw options, but for me they're just too costly, either with their ink or by the potential to help out your opponents. The damage abilities and effects may also not be enough to get the removal job done, and I just feel like other ink types are doing better at providing consistent card draw without some drawbacks, or they are doing a better job at getting the removal done. Well, that is it for my Lorcana ink type tier list. Please like and subscribe, and let us know your passing thoughts in the comments below.